it was like one of the first things I remember kind of doing, like sports activity-wise. My parents took me to a practice, I think when I was like 5 or 6. Didn't really know anything about the sport. Family didn't really watch it too much, or we weren't like fanatics or anything like that. And just they took me to a practice, and I was like, all right, this is cool, And then as the years went on, I kind of just like started falling in love with the game. And once summer came around, it was like, all right, it's baseball season, and I loved it. I grew up in Indiana. There's not many Polynesians or Samoans in Indiana. But growing up, I just hearing stories from my dad, looking up stuff online, and being like, all right, I want to connect more, talk to some family, go visit the island. The sleeve is just a representation of like that, half of me. Family, strength, unity, story of Tatao, all the lines, all the tea leaves, the waves, everything is based off of the original Tatao, and it's just what this the statue represents. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud to wear this sleeve. It's generations of people that come before me, and just trying to, hopefully I'm representing them well. The summer of 2012, the Hyannis Haba Hawks, as they say up there. I kind of dreamt of going to the Cape. I think every baseball player has seen summer catch, and wanted to go there and play up there. I think when I got there, I was like, all right, this is a great opportunity. Like, let's not waste this. And I had a really, really good summer, and it's just a lot of fun. Definitely turned some heads. It was definitely like a turning point in my life.
Just got to keep working hard, and just got to keep doing the right things. And whenever the opportunity comes, I can make the jump to the big leagues. I'll be ready for it.
We were in Nashville. I think we had just gotten back from Colorado Springs, which was freezing. I get a call from Skipper, and he's like, "Hey, big leagues tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh my God," So it was definitely a very emotional day. I got to call the parents, and I think that was like a Wednesday. I think I flew out Thursday, and then Friday night was my debut.
And the big man, Sean Manaea, his major league debut.
Everyone telling me like, if and when you make your debut, like you just got to soak up that moment. Especially the first time you get out there. So I definitely made sure to get up on the mound and do like just one look around and be like, holy cow, we made it. I remember Correa was the first strikeout.
Change up, and Correa swings and misses. So pretty good first inning for Sean Manaea.
A lot of firsts. I gave him my first home run to Evan Gaddis. Definitely a lot of nerves. It was an okay start, but I got the first one in the books, and it was definitely a surreal moment to live that up. Voter, he was the catcher behind the dish, and anybody that knows Voter knows he's the man, and very proud to have him as my first catcher in the big leagues. And we got to work a little bit in spring training, and I remember him just kind of talking through some things, and nerves, and what it's like, and all this stuff. And he was always so cool, just giving out information and stuff like that. So forever grateful about that. Sonny Gray, Kendall Graveman, Chris Bassett. These are kind of like the guys when on the Oakland teams. At least my first couple of years that were, we were like the unit, and they definitely helped me out. San Diego, like Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish. I always looked up to you for. I remember watching YouTube videos on him in the World Baseball Classic. So for him to be my teammate and locker mate was that was a surreal moment. Here in New York, Luis Severino, Jose Quintana, David Peterson, Clay Holmes, last year. There's so many guys that have helped out, and just a few of the guys that over the years that have definitely left an impact on me.
Grounded to short, scooped up by Simeon. It's a no-hitter. Sean Manaea has no-hit the hottest team in baseball.
It's crazy to have a no-hitter on your resume, but we got one, and it's I don't know, it's crazy. Every time it's brought up, it just brings a smile on my face. It was definitely one of the highlights of my career, and it's cool to have Marcus Semien here because he was a shortstop, and we just got to we have that bond. Do it against that team. Obviously, they won the World Series that year, and they're very talented special team. But to do it against those guys, personally, just felt that was a huge accomplishment. The big thing, won a World Series. We got close a couple years ago, and that ride was fun. But I think winning a World Series would be you know, the ultimate goal. You know, I want to, I guess, play long enough for my daughter to see me play, but also like know what's going on. I mean, even before you turn pro, it's like you hear 10 years of service, and it's like, you know, you can name the names that, you know, anybody that's ever done it. It's such a huge accomplishment, and being in this game for this long, you know, the older you get, like, you realize how like hard it is. You know, I'm just so proud of all the ups and downs, all the high moments, the low moments. You know, I wouldn't trade it for the world, and it's been, you know, one hell of a journey, and I've loved every second of it.